Hello, hello. Hello, friends. It's Liz here. Welcome to another Facebook Live. As you know, I'm here every Friday at noon Eastern over on Annie's Facebook page, and we're going to do another crochet tutorial, of course. So as you hop on, just say hello. Let me know that you're here. Let me know what you're working on. And before I get started on the tutorial, I will tell you one new thing that I haven't showed everybody yet, which is the new issue of Crochet Magazine. I know it's backwards. As you can see, mine is still sealed. I haven't even started reading it yet. But because I was still working on my spring issue and my special home issue, so I haven't even had a chance to go through this yet. But this is the new issue. If you're a subscriber, you probably got yours in the mail. If not, it's not going to be in stores until I believe the 30th. So subscribe to get it early. So let me say hi to my friends. Linda's here, Trudy's here. Hi, Catherine, and Sophia is here. Good to see everybody. Hi, Virginia. Hi, hello. I hope everyone had a great week. I've had quite a busy week, but today is Friday, so I'm glad for that. And we're going to do some fun crochet with my friends. So that always makes the week better. Hi, Frances. Frances says, I love amigurumis, and I haven't done too many of those, but that's what we're going to work on today. So I don't have my my printer's not working. So I'm just going to show you, it might not look the best, but I'm going to show you on my computer. This, you may have seen this because this is a bestseller right now at Annie's. Well, you can see it okay. These are just adorable little bunny gnomes. So they're gnomes with bunny ears for Easter. So it's super cute. And I'm just going to show you a few, we can't go through the whole thing, but I'm going to show you a few things like how to do the nose, how to do the stuffing, and maybe how to do the beard. So we'll see how it goes, but we're going to work on a couple parts of this fun pattern. And I'm going to work through my computer. So give me a thumbs up if you've done any amigurumi or toys, any kind of toys before. Give me a thumbs up or a heart or something. Susan says, hello from Ohio. There's Janice from Washington. Hi, Janet from Wisconsin. And I have Anna from Canada. Shelly says, hi, Liz. Shelly from Alabama. Hi, Shelly. Marianne from Georgia. Deborah's here. And Kathy and Fran from Minnesota. There's my friend Ilka. Hello. Veronica's here. Hi, Veronica. Beth, Sandra from Vermont, and Tanya from Washington. And I have my friend from Thailand. Hello, thank you so much for joining me. This is going to be so much fun. Okay, let me just go ahead and flip my camera so we can get right into it, you guys. But if you have any questions, as always, just go ahead and ask me. I'm going to keep an eye on the comments and let me know what you think about these little crochet toys. What I've noticed about doing this amigurumi is you have to use a smaller hook than you normally would, and it's always going to end up being like tighter stitching, right? Hello from Wyoming. Hello from, let me go through here. Shelly. Mary says, I love doing them, would love to do the ones that you just showed. Okay, well, these were not hard at all. I managed to get through this. So I started with the body, and it's just a simple single crochet increasing, and then it sort of goes flat on the bottom. You work through the back loop, and then you just start increasing, and then you start decreasing. So when you get to this point, which all this is single crochet increasing and decreasing, and I joined with a slip stitch. So as you can see, I have a little seam, which is not very noticeable. I prefer joining with a slip stitch because it's hard to keep track of your rounds when you're just going and not doing that slip stitch. So at this point is when the pattern says to add some stuffing. So Frances says she's been testing Amies, hats and scarves. That's awesome, Frances. Patty says, reminds me of a romper room. You need a minute to look through what you're saying. Elizabeth from Northern Kentucky. Hi, Elizabeth. I'm in Kentucky too. I'm so glad you're here with me. So look, guys, this is the body. What do you think of the body so far? Pretty cute. So I have this stuffing. So at this point, I'm just going to put this stuffing in here. And this is just fiber fill, which you can get at, craft store, Joann's. And for this part, I used a DK weight cotton yarn. The pattern calls for a DK weight, I believe it's acrylic. You can use either one. The cotton is like, makes it kind of stiff, but the acrylic will do the same thing if you have the really tight stitches. So see, I mean, it's not going anywhere. I'm using a D hook. It's 3.25 millimeters. And like I said, this is a DK weight yarn. So let's continue where we were on this part, because all I did was increase. So what I'm going to do now is basically the same thing, which what I did here. So let me find where I was here in the pattern. And the pattern instructions are pretty simple. It's just a lot of increasing and decreasing. Okay, so let me just find this here. Okay, so stuffly firm with fiber fill and continue working. It says don't overstuff, the fiber fill should not show between the stitches. So I think we're good here. Now we're just going to start again, and we're going to go single crochet in the first 2 stitches, and then single crochet decrease in the next 2 stitches. So I'll show you how to do the decrease. Now here's where I join. Every round you're going to join the same way. Just going to insert your hook and make a slip stitch there. And then I'm going to chain up 1. And all these rounds are going to be exactly the same. And a lot of these toys and things like this, it's single crochets, increasing and decreasing. So if you can do that, you can do these toys. You just have to do a lot of different pieces and sew them together. But it's mostly increasing and decreasing in single crochet stitches. So we're going to single crochet in the next 3. So the first one does not, that chain 1 doesn't count as a stitch. So we're going to make sure you go into that first chain 1. So 1, 2, and 3. And then I'm going to decrease over the next 2 stitches. So to decrease, you're just going to insert your hook into 1 stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then don't do anything else. Just insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then once you have those 3 loops on your hook, you yarn over and pull through all 3. And now we're just going to repeat that all the way around. So what did I do? 3 stitches, right? 1, 2, 3. And then decrease. So 1, and all the rounds are basically the same. You're going to go a certain amount of stitches and then you're going to do a decrease, or you're going to go a certain amount of stitches and you're going to do an increase. And that's basically how it is for each and every piece. And then some rounds you will, you'll just work in each stitch around, so work even. 3 and then decrease. See how tight my stitches are? You have to really kind of, it's just tight. So it's different than what you're used to if you're used to doing like, you know, blankets or sweaters where you can kind of do a really loose stitch. This has to be nice and tight because you don't want to see through it. You want it to be a nice solid fabric. So that's all you do. So you would just continue to do a few more rounds of that where you're decreasing until you get to the top, and then you're going to sew that guy together. Now let's do the nose, because I want to show you how to start with a slip ring, because all of the pieces, the nose, the hat, the body, they all start with a slip ring, aka a magic ring. So let's do the nose, and the nose starts with, it says make a slip ring, chain 1, and work 6 single crochets into the ring. Okay, so you're just going to put the yarn over your fingers like this, and then I go my first 2 fingers. So see how the one that's attached to the yarn is towards the back and the one that's not is towards the, well, you know what I mean, the short piece is in the front. So put it over your 2 fingers and then take that piece from the back and wrap it over so you make like an X. And then I just grab it with my pinky to hold it in place. And then you just have to kind of rotate your fingers like that. Put your hook under the first loop and over the next loop, and then pull that loop under. And as you're pulling it, you just do like a twist. So that's the ring, and then you just make a chain 1. So grab that loop and chain 1. And that's it. That's how you do your slip ring. I'll do it one more time real quick just to make sure you got it. So take the short piece, put it over, wrap it around the back, pull it around the front so you're crossing over like that. You grab that with your pinky to hold it, and then just go under the first loop, over the next loop to grab it. And as you grab it, you just rotate it so that way you can make a chain 1. There's my chain 1. I made it a little tight, but that's okay. So there's my slip ring. And then you can just take this tail and pull it tight. And I generally don't even pull it until I've made the stitches in there. So you can make the stitches right over these loops. So I did my chain 1, or these strands I should say. So now I'm just going to work my 6 single crochet into that ring. 3, 4, 5, and 6. And I just generally keep it like this until I've made all those stitches, and then I pull it when I need to join. So here's my little tail. And you just pull that. As you can see, it tightens it up. So if you do like a chain 4 join to form a ring, you'll never get it this. You'll always have a little hole in the center. So with this slip ring, you will never have a little hole in the center. Well, see how tiny that is? With a chain, you're going to have more of a hole there. So that's why we use the slip ring a lot, because it makes it nice and solid. See? That's the hat. So let me just make sure. Christine says hi from Washington. Hi, Christine. I want to make sure I don't have any questions. So if you had a question and I missed it, ask me again. But I'm looking back, I don't see any. Brenda says I got a pattern book and Christmas. I'm starting to try today. Good. Me too. Okay. Okay. I think we're good. All right. So now all we do. You see how tiny these stitches are? This is probably the only part that makes it a little hard, is you have to really work to get under that stitch. And I made mine really tight. So if you need to, just sort of. And this is it's only like this for the first join. So if you made your ring super tight like mine, you might have trouble getting under there, but once you get under there, then the next joins are easier. So just join those little 6 single crochets that you made. So now you have 6 single crochets, and now you're going to increase. So we're going to chain up 1 and then get 2 single crochets into that same space. You're going to have to really dig in there. And you could probably go with 1, 2. You could probably always go with a larger hook if you're having, oops, I did the tail, hold on, if you're having too much trouble with this. But I probably just pulled it too tight. Here we go. So once you get under those first 2, you're going to make 2 single crochets in each of these stitches. So this is like a small nose, you know, so I want it to be small. So I'm making them really tight. That's 2. And there's my next single crochet. Hold on, hold on, hold on. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so here's my next one. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. So we're just increasing here until we have 12. And we should have 12 after we make 2 in each of the 6 that we made. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I think I skipped one in the beginning. 11 and 12. Okay, so there's my first single crochet, and then we're just going to slip stitch to join that. And is that cotton? Somebody said, is that cotton yarn? Yes, this is DK weight cotton yarn, which cotton works really well for these kind of toys, and I have a lot of these colors in this yarn, so I have the right colors. The pattern calls for, I believe it's Premier Yarns DK, but you're going to need to use a DK weight to make it really, make the pieces small. So we did our 12, and then we're just going to do another increase where we increase every other. So instead of increasing in every stitch, we're going to go work 1 single crochet into the first stitch, and then we're going to work 2 in the next one. So you just work 2 single crochets into the same stitch, just like what we just did on the previous round. And then you work 1, and then you work 2. So this is basically the whole pattern. And in some of the parts, it'll say work the same rounds as round 2 of the body. 1, 2, and then 1, and then 1, 2. And then 1, 1, 2, and 1. So see, all I did was increase in a pattern like that. So when you do the body, you'll have it just like that. So you do increase every stitch, and then you'll do increase every other stitch, and then increase every 2 stitches, and so on until you work even, and then you start decreasing. And see, you can't really even see where the decreases happen. You can barely see it. And then for the hat, it'll say something similar. Work the first few rounds as you did the body. So you're just doing the same increasing and decreasing. Same for the nose. Work the first few rounds as you did for the body. And then once you work a few increases, then you start decreasing again, and the nose turns into like a little, tiny little, what's the word I'm looking for? Not cube. Like a ball, like that. So then once you've got it all worked out, you just put everything together. So you sew this part, you're going to sew the hat on, you're going to make the ears, which are similar to how you do the hat, and sew those on the top. You're going to sew the nose right here. So for everything, you leave a long tail so you can sew it on. You're just going to sew that into there. And then once you've sewn all the pieces together, I just want to show you how to do the beard. So you're going to take a few strands So once you got everything, let me make sure I don't have any questions here. Once you have everything sewn on, sorry, I'm going through the comments. I don't want to miss anybody. Yeah, so this is the grips that we're using, and we're using a 3.25 millimeter or a D hook. So I'm just going to take a few of these strands, right? And this is a small hook, so I'm not going to be able to fit too many, but if you take a few strands, let me try to, you put those over the hook like that. Now this is once you've got your nose sewn on. You're going to work around the nose. So let's say the nose is like right here, and she tells you where to sew the nose on in the pattern. You're just going to insert your hook like that into the front of it, and then you just pull those strands through like that. And then once you've got that on, you can loop these ones. See how I'm using a small hook for all these strands? So you could use less strands, or you could try with a bigger hook. You just pull those through there and then pull that through. So now you've got your part of your beard attached. And you can use less and do smaller, but what you're going to do is work these sort of around the bottom of the nose, right? So that way you have the nose right here. You're going to work a few of these where you just insert this sort of handful of strands and work like maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 around the nose. And then you can just pull apart these this ply, and then you'll have the little like curlies, right? So pull apart the ply. Let me make it shorter so I can show you. Of course, you're going to want to trim it. And this is actually more work than you think. But it's easier with acrylic yarn, trust me, because I've done it with both. When you have these plies with cotton yarn, they're different than acrylic yarn. So that's probably why she used acrylic for this pattern, because when you unply these, you have to just pull all these strands apart, and then you get some nice like curly strands for the beard. And the cotton doesn't curl as well as the acrylic does. But see, that's all you have to do. You just have to pull those apart with your fingers. It takes a little work because they want to stay the way they are. They don't want to come apart. So you just pull those guys apart, and then you'll have all those little strands, and then you can trim it however you want to. And let me see if I can show you the picture, because I want you to see how much prettier her beard was. And I believe that's because it's done with the acrylic. See how you can tell she just pulled all those plies apart. And you see what I was talking about the beard? You have like one sort of handful of yarn strands there, another one here, probably another one here, and another one here. And then that's how you make the beard. And those are really easy to put in, just like how we did it, where you just pull it through the hook, so you don't have to worry about like sewing it on or pulling it in strand by strand. And that's it. Isn't this hat cute? I haven't done the ears yet, but the ears are basically the same. You're just changing color. You're just doing the same thing. You're starting with a few increases, changing color, and then these are worked in the round as well. So you're starting with a few increases, changing color, and decreasing at the same time till you get to work even a few for the bottom, and then you just sew those on. It's really, really very simple. It looks pretty incredible, but it's actually very simple to do. So make sure I got the yarn info, since I got a lot of my hands can hurt. Yeah, that was actually happening to me too, Francis. My handwork was getting, I'm not used to doing these, but you really have to work this tight. So you could get one of those gloves. I would use one of those gloves. Those usually help. They're called, what are they called? Oh, you guys, I can't remember what they're called, but it's some kind of glove. That helps. Compression, that's it. Compression, I think it's called, a compression glove. So try that, but take a break from it for a few days and work on something easy, and then you can go back to it. So I hope everybody enjoyed this video, and I hope you make one of these cute little guys, and if you do, make sure you post it on Annie so I can see a photo. And I hope everyone has a great weekend. Remember, I'm here every Friday at noon, so I will see you next time. Bye, guys.